What is going on, everybody? Welcome to DSM Media's Phillies pregame show. It's the series finale against the Oakland Athletics today. And today, I am joined with intern Cole. Check him out on Twitter at Cole.Tomp. And my guy, my co-host here on the pregame show, El Parcero Philly. Check him out on Twitter at Parcero Philly as we stream to you guys live through DSM Media's Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook accounts, as well as El Parcero's YouTube account. So check him out and subscribe to him on YouTube as well. Fellas, how are we feeling on this Sunday morning?
Oh, I'm feeling good. It was an interesting day yesterday, but it was fun.
Yeah, so I definitely woke up today. Had to catch up with everything that went down yesterday. I was down at Subaru Park, not Citizens Bank Park there, but no, what a great performance yesterday. I'm excited to get to it today, and I know that you both probably have some great stories from yesterday as well, which I can't wait to listen to as well.
Well, yeah, so before we get into today's matchup, and guys, real quick, the landscape of this pregame show is going to be pitching matchup today with Zach Eflin and Dalton Jeffries on the mound. Lineup card for the Philadelphia Phillies, the third straight or the third different duo at shortstop and third base in the third game of the season. We'll talk about that, as well as the keys to victory and predictions for the Phillies. But first, let's start by reacting to the first two games of the series, as the Phils do start off this season 2-0 with two nice offensive performances and nice performances all around, you could say. But Cole, I saw you down there at the park for a little bit yesterday. It was good to meet you in person, buddy. But let's start with your story, because Cole had a little bit of a rough start at Citizens Bank Park this year.
Yeah, so me and Kata get down there. We go to see my friends from school for a little bit. Then we head over to your guys' tailgate. When we get over to your guys' tailgate, I check my ticket to make sure everything's good. And I see it. All right, I see it there. All right, so I'm able to get in the game. When we leave your tailgate, we go to walk to the stadium. And as we're walking, we get to Kata's car. We walk back up to the stadium. As we're walking to the stadium, I check again. StubHub says your ticket's been canceled. And I'm literally outside the gates of Citizens Bank Park. So, and then I check. Kata's like, all right, check Phillies.com. We check Phillies.com. They're like $130. I'm in college. $130 is like $1 million to me. So I don't just have that money laying around. So Kata goes in. He buys another ticket for me off of SeatGeek, and I'm on the phone with StubHub. And the only thing they say to me is, we'll get you your money back at some point. You can either buy an $80 or $100 ticket today. I didn't respond. I may have used some not nice words in the process. Wasn't very happy. Fair to say, me and StubHub have officially declared Twitter beef. I'm officially beefing with StubHub. That is just the gist of it. So, StubHub, if you're watching this, you owe me one.
Listen, man, quick little plug here. Nothing official yet, but I guess we can all be in agreement to not use StubHub anymore and use another ticketing service that DSM Media will be connected with in the near future. So look out for that. But my story is a little different. So I was lucky enough to be in right field yesterday, row one, right directly behind Bryce, which was amazing, right? Never been there before. It was awesome. And listen, he didn't do anything over the top, so it's like, there's no bad name for Philly fans. But I understand why one Philly fan can create a mess for the majority. Why one idiot can just be a problem and give a bad reputation to everybody else. Because, again, he didn't throw anything. He didn't run on the field. He didn't do anything over the top, so he wasn't that bad. But the most annoying dude on the planet was in my section yesterday. And guys, it wasn't the Braves, it wasn't the Mets, it wasn't the Marlins, the Yankees, the Reds, nobody that the Phillies have a rivalry with. It's the Oakland Athletics. So for everybody who doesn't know, when Bryce Harper wasn't in the field, Piscotty was in right field. Well, this dude's got a problem with Piscotty, right? First of all, he's got a problem with probably about the 19 or plus beers he drank yesterday and whatever else he did. But every inning that the A's were in the field, we were seats 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're on the aisle. Here he comes down the steps. Piscotty! Freaking out, dude. And he's like leaning over us, leaning over the gate, yelling at him, right? I'm not going to say the words. A lot of foul language was used, but not making sense. Dude. Not heckling, not giving a hard time. Bringing like politics into it, telling him he's a POS for not standing up for his country and it's freedom because California's a POS because, they play in Oakland, asking him what his tax bracket is, UPOS, UMF. Do you know about pipelines, UP? Just a lot like stuff that didn't matter. A lady behind me said something to him like, dude, chill out. Turns around, says F you to her. Like, just, dude, go sit down. The most
No Will
crazy
Smith
thing,
smacks.
dude. I've
No
never seen,
Will
it wasn't
Smith.
the Braves, the Yankees, the Mets. It was literally the Oakland Athletics. And this dude's freaking out about California and how Piscotty is a POS because of his tax bracket. Dude, like I was like, what is happening here, dude? But yeah,
I wish
just
you
a
recorded
lot
this,
of
Dylan.
stupid stuff. What? Well, here's my thing.
I wish you recorded this.
My girlfriend started to, and once he turned around to the lady and told her to F off, I told her to stop because if he was to say anything to her, now that's my problem. You understand? Like that's as you guys like,
Right.
Parcero, I'm sure you're like if some dude
Oh,
told Nat to F off, like you don't want to, but like now you have to at least say something, and then he's drunk, and you can't talk to that person when he's like that. So I was like, stop, put your phone down, because if he sees you recording and he says something, now it's my problem, and I'm trying to enjoy Bryce Harper and this Phillies W. But that was my story, and if Ginn was on here, Ginn would have another story.
Yeah, he has one.
At the tailgate, but that guy on the bike, again, he's probably working security today. But all right, fellas, let's get into the first two matchups of this series. Parcero, I'll start with you, my guy, because you weren't involved in story time yet. What's your thoughts on the first two games?
I think my expectations have been exceeded through the first two. The bats have been as advertised, but I think more importantly, what I've seen in these first two games is that the Phillies in seasons prior, right, would allow a team to start trickling back into it, and then they would blow the leads, right? But in both Friday and Saturday, you saw the Phillies put the clamps on those leads or those runs that Oakland A's were scoring and got their own runs and were able to close out games. I thought pitching's been pretty solid so far. We talked about Aaron Nola already, but Kyle Gibson, what a great start he had yesterday. Very, very surprising. 10 Ks in 7 innings, only allowed 2 hits. I mean, dude, I think we all owe an apology to Kyle Gibson. Now it's only 1 start, right, guys? But that is definitely reassuring going forward. But no, I mean, like you said, Dylan, this is the Oakland A's. But in the first series of the season, this is exactly what you wanted to see. And in the delicate state that Philly sports fans are, everyone's already writing off the Philadelphia 76ers. This is exactly what we needed, man.
Absolutely. Cole, what have you liked? I don't know if there's any dislikes yet. I haven't been able to put my finger on a dislike yet. So what have you liked so far?
My only dislike would be Joe Girardi and Didi Gregorius, but other than them, I don't have any dislikes.
Something we'll get into today. Didi's not in the lineup today.
Good, as he should never be. Back to Kyle Gibson. I am truly sorry. I bashed you, and I was upset that you were starting the game I was going to, and I owe you an apology. So if you're watching this, I am sorry, Kyle Gibson. But no, the bats have been, like Parcero says, as advertised. They've been everything we've expected. Home runs, just solid hits. Bohm had a ton of solid hits yesterday. 3 home runs yesterday, 1 the day before. So yeah, it's been pretty fun so far. The Phillies just obviously need to keep it up. I mean, it's 2 out of 162, so let's not act like anything crazy yet, but it's definitely been something different. I know we talked about it, Dylan, just being at Citizens Bank yesterday, it just felt different than past years. Like I was
from Washington.
Yeah, I was trying to go get food, and I was like, oh, I'll go during the inning. That's usually never busy. It was busy the entire time. And it's awesome. It's awesome. It's what you want to see. I mean, and it might be a little annoying, but at the same time, it's what you want to see. And this has been a fun start to the season. I just hope we continue it into today and whip out the brooms.
Yeah. So,
gentlemen, real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick, if I can ask, where in Philadelphia is Broad Street? I've never heard of this street, and I'm just wondering where it is exactly.
So that clip was awesome. Parcero texted me that this morning, and I hadn't been on Twitter yet, so I didn't see Nick Castellanos' interview, saying that he didn't know where Broad was, and the reporters explaining to him. But just shout out to Broad Street. Shout out to Bryce saying let's party on Broad in his MVP speech yesterday. I can't wait. Cole, what I was just looking for was your clip, because I gotta give props, my man. On the preview show or on the pregame show for day one on Friday, I said I thought Schwarber would go yard. Cole one-upped me and said Schwarber was going yard in his first AB. So I was looking for your clip because I thought you had it on Twitter, but I was going to play it, but I could not find it.
It's
right
on
now.
Instagram and TikTok.
All right. So Cole, that's another storyline. We got to already see Nick Castellanos and Kyle Schwarber's first home runs as Philadelphia Phillies. Rhys Hoskins is on the board with one. Gene Segura tanked one in yesterday's ball game to go back to back with Rhys. This team, like you said, Parcera, the offense has been as advertised. I love it, but I'm more impressed with the pitching at the moment. You can go back to Friday, Aaron Nola. The wheels fell off, and was that the 6th or the 7th when the wheels came off? The 7th, right? So he gave him 6 strong. It's his problem that the wheels, of course, had to fall off. Joe probably should have also pulled him when it was 1st and 3rd, nobody out. That's another story.
Mhm.
But he looked fine. The bullpen comes in, closes it down, right? Yesterday, Kyle Gibson gives you 7 clean, 2 hits, 10 Ks. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Phillies as a whole have not given up a walk this season through 2 games. I get it. Starters and bullpen combined in 18 total innings have not surrendered a walk to opposing pitchers. Corey Knebel has come in, had a little bit of a scare yesterday. First 2 batters weren't too good. Then he cleans it up, double play, strikeout to end the game. Sir Anthony, Jose Alvarado, Brad Hand, Familia looked okay. So this Phillies pitching through 2 games against the Oakland Athletics has looked pretty good. Well, guys, segueing into today's game, because the lineup card does look a little different again, and to mix it all together with the first 2 games, we have seen this is now our 3rd different combination of shortstop and third base. On day 1, it was Bryson Stott and Didi Gregorius. Day 2, it was Alec Boehm and Didi Gregorius. And now today, it is Bryson Stott and Camargo. Cole, talk to me first. You like it? I know how you feel about Didi, right? But what, do you like the fact that it's already through? This feels like the Eagles' offensive line. All these different combinations every week. Like, do you like that or no?
See, I understand I feel like it's a different comparison, though. It's hard to compare them because there's 16 games or 17 games in an NFL season.
I know.
There's 162 in the MLB.
I'm just saying in 3 games, it's already the 3rd different one.
I wouldn't be shocked if we see a few more different combinations there. I think they're trying to find what fits best. So when they get in the later part of the season, and if all my other shows and everything I've watched and I've talked about the Phillies, what they need to do in the beginning of the season is find what works and find what's best for them to win games. So I feel like that's part of the reason why they didn't have Bryson Stott in yesterday. I think we could see Stott and Boehm. I think we could see Didi and Camargo out there in the next 2 games in the next series against the Mets. So I think we could just be seeing different rotations, different duos coming out. So the Phillies find one that fits them best, which to me, through the first 2 days, it's Bryson Stott and Alec Boehm. I know they haven't played together yet, but Stott went 2 for 4. Boehm went 2 for 3, I believe. 2 for 4. Something along those lines. Both.
2 for 3. He might have gotten pulled early.
Okay. Yeah, he did. They put Camargo in.
Boom,
That's right. They did. Yeah. So I think that Boehm and Stott both have played well, but I think the Phillies are going to try every combination that they can amongst those, 4 guys? 5 guys? 4 guys. So I think that we'll probably see Didi and Camargo, Stott and Boehm out there in the next few games. But I'm not opposed to them switching it up yet. Once we get into like the middle of July, if we're seeing a new pair every day, then I'm going to be concerned. But until then, I'm not.
All right. Ginn said he's being honored today before the game for the most beers drank in Citizens Bank Park history yesterday. Still throwing out the first pitch. Ginn, I hope you're not throwing out the first pitch with that number of beers drank like yesterday. Also, Cole sucks at Flip Cup, and me and Ginn took home the crown yesterday. But Parcero,
right,
there's juice in your cups. Chill out.
Yeah,
Parcero, what are your thoughts on the different combinations of shortstop and third base through 3 games already?
I think it's two different things. I think that we're still in a competition role right here with the left side of the infield. I still think that Girardi's still trying to figure out what is his best combination at the left there. And I also think it's a matchup based thing. So by looking at Camargo and Stott being the starting third and shortstop, to me, I think they have the best gloves out of the four guys we've discussed. So to me, it seems like Girardi doesn't care about running up the scoreboard here today. Let's get the dub any way we can, even if it's a 2-0 victory. But that's kind of what it tells me. And for all these guys, for Camargo, Stott, Bohm, and Didi, you have to go out there and give it your all because you are in a competition. You are fighting for those everyday those starts. But you're going to definitely see Girardi kind of trickle in with it today. Obviously, we also don't have JT Romito, so we'll see Garrett Stubbs here today. Hopefully, as intern Cole said, he does
Yes.
enough not to suck and help us out too.
Yeah,
but I did want to touch upon Alec Bohm because it was a solid outing yesterday, 2 for 2. And of
Ripped
course,
one into
he
the
gets
gap.
pulled out. Yeah, he got pulled out a little bit later for Camargo. So I'm just more concerned about his mindset. I know how fragile that could be as a young player, but I don't mind with what Joe Girardi's doing right now.
I would have to imagine. Let's give Joe the benefit of the doubt here. You mentioned Bohm's mindset and what it's going to be like to be in and out of this lineup when he just wants to show what he can do, and we saw that kind of that mental block at the end of last season really affect him. I would imagine Joe and his staff sat down with these guys and laid out the plan, right? Like this isn't they come into the clubhouse on Sunday morning and realize I'm not in the lineup. This is I would hope this was a discussion. We're going to be rotating you guys. We're going to be figuring this out as we go. Not okay, Alec, you played great on Saturday. You come in Sunday morning and you find out you're not in 2 hours before the game. I hope that's not the case. But what I would say so far is, yes, I think it's going to be kind of a competition, kind of a race through the first maybe month of this season, maybe a little longer. And, if we're looking at the race right now, but Bryson Stott, I almost always say Boston Scott instead of Bryson Stott because it's so close. But Bryson Stott and Alec Bohm are in the lead right now. I think we all agree that Camargo is a nice guy that can come off the bench, that can give you days off and play all over the infield, right? He's not going to be in this race, I don't think. Didi's the other guy. Didi so far has not looked good. Didi, again, swinging at strikes, swinging at balls out of the zone, right? Ugly at bats. I believe his first 2 at bats yesterday were either two ugly Ks or a K and an awful pop up to the third baseline, right? So he hasn't looked good. The other 2 young guys have. Let's see if they can keep that momentum because I think we're all in agreement that we would love for the everyday infield to look like Bryson Stott at shortstop, Alec Bohm at third base. I think the future of the Phillies, and right now, if they can play at a high level, we would greatly appreciate that to be the case. But we'll just have to wait and see how this race plays out. Guys, let's keep chugging forward today. And shout out to our man KC. I'm gonna cover our faces for a second. But let's get to the lineup cards today. And here we go as the Phillies look to pull out the Brooms. Little bit of a different look today. Kyle Schwarber leads off in the DH spot, not in left field. He's DHing today, leading off. In this 2-hole is Gene Segura staying at second base. This is where I wanted to see Gene before the season started. We'll see what he looks like in that 2-hole today. In right field, in the 3-hole is Bryce Harper. Cleaning up in left field today. First look at him in the field, Nick Castellanos, who hit his first home run yesterday as a Philly. In the 5-hole where he's been all year long. I like it a lot. Reese Hoskins at first base. Bryson Stott back in the lineup at shortstop. Cole, not at third base, at shortstop, and batting 6 today. I like it a lot there as well. Camargo in the 7-hole at third base. Garrett Stubbs in catching for JT. He gets the day off today in the 8-hole. And then again, Matt Vierling, your everyday center fielder for the time being, finishing up that lineup in the 9-hole. Gentlemen, Parcero, I'll start with you. Thoughts on that lineup card?
Yeah, no, like I mentioned, being able to see those gloves per se really with Stott and Camargo starting there. But no, I mean, again, I like the top heavy lineup that we have here. Obviously getting Schwarber, Segura, and Bryce Harper. This is what I thought the lineup would look like at the start of the season. But I think today might be another low run score game maybe 4 or 5 runs yet again here today. But let's get some contact here. I want to see Camargo's bat a little bit more as well, because I do think that at third base he might have the best glove. But obviously you got to get that bat going with it as well. But let's have some fun here today. Let's hit some dingers, as they say.
Cole, what are your thoughts on this lineup card?
I like Segura at the 2-hole. I know me and you both agreed on that during the preseason show. I like the idea of Segura at the 2-hole. I feel like they kind of are just putting Schwarber at DH just to give him a little bit of a break from playing the field. Castellanos in left, just mixing things up a little bit. All in all, I mean, I really can't complain about the lineup. I mean, obviously, I would rather see JT out there than Garrett Stubbs. But I think this is a good opportunity for Camargo, Stott, and Stubbs to prove their value. So I'm interested to see how that is today.
Now, the one thing that sticks out to me, and I know the bottom 3, 7, 8, 9 are different than they looked like. The supporting cast around Bryson Stott is different than what it looked like on opening day. But I believe Bryson Stott was in the 8-hole on opening day. Mm-hmm. He moves up to 6. Now, obviously, that's because Camargo, Stubbs, and Vierling are behind him, so he deservingly moves up to 6. But it'll be interesting to see what the young kid can do more towards the middle part of this lineup and not at the bottom half with the top of the order coming back up around. If he can show up again today, playing at his natural position at shortstop, if he can have a clean game in the field, he's going to take even more of a lead to get into that lineup every single day. Bryson Stott's a guy that I'm looking out for in today's matchup. Let's get into the pitching matchup as well. As I said, so day 1, we got Aaron Nola. Day 2, Kyle Gibson. Both starters have looked good. Wheels came off for Nola a little bit in the 7th inning. Today, Zach Eflin gets the bump. Parcero, what are you expecting out of Zach Eflin today? Because he's the guy that I think could be the most inconsistent on this team. He's got good stuff at times, great stuff at times, where he can give you 7, 8 strong innings, scoreless innings sometimes. Yeah. Other times, he might be out in the 4th inning. What are you expecting today against this, not depleted, but this fire sale Oakland Athletics team? What can he do today, and what does he need to do to be effective?
No, look, I think for myself, when it comes to Eflin, I have high expectations for him. For me, it's more so about staying healthy, because if we saw the way he ended the season last year before his injury, that is a Zach Eflin we kind of been waiting for. He had conviction. He looked like the clear-cut third starter. And when he looks like that, this rotation is just flowing. So for today, go out there and be yourself. We saw some solid stuff in spring training. But again, for me, what I'm more concerned about is the health. And so I want to see him go. We saw both Nola and Gibson going 7 deep. Let's get to 7 deep as well. Let's keep this momentum going for these starting pitchers. But I have high expectations this season for Zach Eflin. Just stay healthy, baby. That's the name of the game.
Cole, health is one thing that you threw out there for this rotation in the season kickoff show. Thoughts on Zach Eflin today?
I'm very excited to see how he bounces back from the injury. I mean, we've seen Zach Eflin at his peak is a phenomenal pitcher, but we've also seen some bad stuff out of Zach Eflin. So I'm hoping we see the good stuff today. Like I said, he doesn't need to throw a perfect game shutout. He doesn't need to sit there and lock them down to 2 hits as a team. What he needs to do is hold them to a run or 2 and give the bullpen a chance. And that's all what it's about. Is if you give the bullpen a chance, where the bullpen's not scraping back, the Phillies are going to score 4 to 5 runs a game. I said that. It's going to be a consistent thing. If he can hold them to a run or 2, not let the wheels fall off before we even get rolling today.
I believe the Phillies team total is set at 5 runs today, and that seems like a number they're going to live around. I think they can average 5 to 6 runs. Yeah. I'd say that not 6. 6 is too high. I'd say they can average close to 5 runs a ball game this year. Yeah. So if these pitchers can have a sub-4 ERA, you're looking pretty good. My issue with Zach Eflin has always been kind of this. The first part of this, Eflin has a high ceiling. I feel like with him, you either get the highest of highs or the lowest of lows. I never see an in-between average-looking Zach Eflin that's going to give up 3 runs in 6 innings and get out of a jam. No, it's either he's lights out, he's going over his 5.5 total strikeouts today, or he's out in the 4th inning and this team's got a bullpen game from the 4th on. I think today, and that's another thing, we talk about how this lineup's so great and how, if Castellanos hits a home run, Reese is like, whoa, hold on. I want in on this, right? Schwarber, Bryce, they all want to, let's get this thing going, right? In a fun, competitive way, I mean. I think the pitchers can take this opportunity to do that as well. If you see Aaron Nola have it came off again, but he had a good start to his start. Kyle Gibson, you see his performance yesterday. If you're Zach Eflin, you're like, whoa, I'm the third guy on this team. I'm the second guy on this team, right? So I think he can go out there today against a depleted Oakland Athletics team, and I think he can give you 6 to 7 strong. I think you only see Eflin surrender 2 runs today. I'll say around 5 hits. And for any gambling people out there, I'm taking his over 5.5 total strikeouts today.
Look at that.
Both starters have done it, and I'm going with Eflin today too.
One thing I will say, what's crazy about this season so far is we've seen Schwarbs, we've seen Castellanos, we've seen Hoskins, Segura hitting home runs. But the NL MVP, the reigning NL MVP, hasn't hit a home run here today. So could it be today that he adds on to the home run tally as well? And it's crazy that we've been scoring all these runs even without Bryce hitting any of those dangers yet. But it's been great.
It's interesting you say that because let's get into our keys to victory and predict and standout stars today, Parcero, because that's mine. From a guy who watched Bryce Harper, I don't know, underperforms a strong word. Not be himself at the dish yesterday. He got hit by a pitch in his first at bat, K'd in his second at bat, flew out in his third, and then hit one on a rope to left field, and it got snagged. So Bryce only reached base once yesterday, hit by pitch, and was 0 for 3 otherwise with a K. That's not going to happen very often. And like you said, Castellanos has one, Schwarber has one, Reese has one, Gene's got one. Bryce Harper's taking one over the right field wall today. Dare I say center field off the ivy today for Bryce Harper. If he gets one, it's tanked today, dude. Now, it ain't getting over that right field wall or that flower bed. It's hammered over the fence today. Bryce Harper is my standout star, and I think he has the potential against an A's team like this, against their third starter, to really – we saw him win some games on his own last year. I think he has the potential to blow up today and put the A's out of their misery within the first couple of innings by himself. So Bryce Harper's my standout star. I think he gets on the board early. When Bryce in these day games, he has, I don't know, he has this itch to get one over the wall in the first or second inning of a day game. So I think that's what we're going to see today.
Yeah, he likes that sunshine as well, man.
He does. And maybe that's what it was yesterday. It wasn't so sunny there yesterday. He likes the day games, but it wasn't sunny. It was cloudy. Some rain was coming down. Maybe it messed up his mojo yesterday during the day. So we'll see what he's got today. Parcero, keys to victory / a standout star for you.
I think you got to start off by, again, like we talked about in the first 2 games, not looking down on the opponent. And I feel like they did a good job of, the Oakland A's could gain some momentum. And
don't do what I'm doing right now. Don't do what Dylan's doing. Phillies, you do better.
And so just play a complete game and just keep putting that foot on the gas pedal. I think number 2, Zach Eflin in his first start this season, like you said, there's a lot of skepticism there. There's a lot of optimism as well for Zach Eflin. So go out there and pitch with some conviction. Let's go through set 7 deep here. And just make some contact. You don't always need to hit the ball at the ballpark, although we know that this batting lineup is got a lot of power to it. But let's get some hits. Let's get the bases moving as well. And to me, those are the 3 keys for Victor here today.
Yeah, the Phillies make contact, and we'll handle the content making over here. Cole,
yes,
keys
sir.
to victory and standout star.
So for the Phillies, they're gonna it's gonna be the same thing every game. It's gonna be they need to score more runs. They're gonna need to score at least 4 or 5 runs, and Eflin's gonna have to hold the A's below 4 or 5 runs. I think Eflin will do that. I think we're gonna see a solid game out of Eflin today. But my standout star, he helped me out a little bit with my first prediction, so I'm gonna stick with my boy again, Kyle Schwarber. And not only will Kyle Schwarber be the standout star, he's gonna hit a home run. And dare I say, Kyle Schwarber will hit another leadoff home run today.
Listen, Cole, have you ever heard the saying "going back to the well one too many times"?
Yeah.
I think Cole's going back to the well one too many times here, Parcero.
I
think he got lucky. I think he got it on his first attempt, and he's going back there again. And I think
We'll see, Dylan. We'll see.
dude, that's a bold prediction. If you
Kyle
get it,
okay. Kyle
if you
Schwarber's
get
gonna
it,
hit a home
clip
run today.
this, throw it out there. You're the man, dude. I'm betting whatever you say next time.
Kyle Schwarber's hitting a home run today.
I'm
Dare
not
I
opposed
say
to that.
he
I'm
hits
not
a
opposed
home
to that. But the
Dare I
you say first at bat again is a bold take.
Dare I say first at bat again? We'll see, Dylan. We'll see.
See, I mean, maybe I'm being bold because I think Bryce pulls one out in his first at bat.
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe,
same. I think.
Well, they both can. Why can't both of them?
I mean, maybe they can smash
They're
that
playing
bell,
Why
right?
not both?
Smash
Exactly.
that bell, right?
The more, the merrier.
Yeah,
then
you get a
then-
home run, and you get a home run, and you
Then
get a home run.
And Castellanos got to hit a home run then because two's a crowd, three's a party.
Heck, maybe
That's not the
Camargo
same,
gets a
right?
home run here today, too.
Maybe.
Camargo does.
Maybe Bryson Stott rips his first one out today as a
Maybe
Philadelphia.
Garrett
Philly.
Stubbs hits a home run today.
Maybe. But listen, guys, what was I going to say? Oh, Nick Castellanos. Before we wrap up, before we get to our score predictions and wrap this one up, and Abe's going with it too. I'm with you, dude. I think Bryce rips one out of the ballpark today. But Nick Castellanos hasn't even looked his best yet, and he's already got 3 RBIs and 2 extra base hits in his first 2 games. Like, he's only got 1 hit each. He's got a 2-run home run, and he's got a RBI double in the opener. So he hasn't looked great, but he's producing at the dish when it matters so far. So I can't. That's my thing, dude. That's my thing. Can you imagine the days where this offense is like all together for the most part? You know what I mean? Like they want Schwarber hit a bomb, right? But Castellanos was 1 for 4. Bryce was 1 for whatever. Yesterday, Bryce didn't get a hit. Nick Castellanos was 1 for 4. Imagine the days where like the 1 through 5 hitters are all mashing, because they're going to be those days throughout the summer. And those days, Cole's face says it all. Those days might be double-digit runs scored. And I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that. But fellas, Cole, start with you. Score prediction for today.
I'm gonna go Phillies 7, A's 4. Phillies 1.
7-4. Another big performance from the bats. Parcero.
Okay, I'm gonna go today with a 5-3 victory. The Phils will sweep the Oakland A's. I do think we'll have a Bryce
Where's my
Harper
broom?
homer, and I'm gonna
I don't know where my broom is.
get those brooms
I
out.
can't find my broom.
And that's for
I'm with
that's
you
for
guys.
you know what, Oakland. That's for leaving Philadelphia decades and a century ago, whatever that was.
Yeah, before I was even alive. Yeah.
Oh man! Shout out to the guy who hated on Piscotti, right? What's your tax bracket?
Oh,
but
man.
I'm with you. Get your brooms out today. This is there's just a vibe around the team. The ballpark is electric. The offense is producing. The pitching looks good. There's just something about this team right now. Get this one out of the way today. I'll be back down there on Monday with my guy Scotty when the ugly, disgusting New York Mets come to town, and then we'll really be having some fun with this team. But go out, take care of business today. Don't do what I did. Don't undersell this bad Oakland A's team. Don't take them for granted here. Don't pull a Sixers in Detroit against the Pistons, okay? Go out there and take care of business. I say Phillies win today. I like Cole's number 7, but I think the pitching is a little bit better. I'm going to go 7-3 today. 2 runs given up by Zach Eflin, 1 given up by the bullpen in a meaningless inning. 7-3, Phillies win. Bryce Harper goes yard. Fellas, anything else for today's show?
Everyone enjoy your afternoon out there. If you're out going to the ballpark, get yourself a nice cold one, and let's get some dingers, man.
And smash that bell. Everybody have a great night. This was episode 2 of DSM Media's Phillies pregame shows. We will be back with you all. Here we go again. I won't tomorrow because I'll be down there. But Parcero, I don't know what his schedule's like. Well, and after that, we'll be a full go the rest of this week.
We'll get you. We'll have you guys ready tomorrow. No worries. But thank you so much, guys.
All right, guys. Have a good one and enjoy your Sunday.
Go Phils.